Hey, everybody. Welcome to another heart-stopping, exciting edition of Friday Night Look Back with basketball. I really need to come up with a better name, but I'm not that creative. Um, we had an interesting, incredible night, and we have another one looking ahead. There's a lot to get to, so let's just start off real quick. Kendrick, talk about what game you went to tonight and how'd that go, and yeah.
With the Hamster Finette and Jefferson girls, saw a great individual performance by Keisha Broussard. The lady has a sling on her shoulder, one of those like those serious arm breaks because her shoulder dislocates. Her team was down 18-5. She scores 11 out of 13 and assists on one to make it 18-18 at the half. Hampton Fournette makes a little bit of adjustment. They hit two threes coming out the half, and Hart Jefferson just didn't have enough horses. He should just need some help. I feel bad for the girl. She has one arm. She's putting up 30. She scored 30 out of 37 in the loss. Hampton Fournette, what made them special was their senior leadership. David, help me out on the names. Number 3 and 00.
I know Becca Delord is 3, and I believe Hannah Hewlett.
Hannah Hewlett, clutch. Steve Nash at the free throw line. 9 for 9 from the charity strike to put the game away in the fourth quarter. All in the fourth quarter, all swishes, so that HJ could never make that run that they needed to get this up back in the game. And the other senior, she didn't play as good as she needed to play, but a win is a win, as the coach said. They've been off for 10 days, and they're happy to be 7-0, and they got firm control in the driver's seat in District 2 to win 3A.
David, you went to a very crucial matchup tonight in District 24A on the girls' side. You know, what game you see and how that turned out?
Yeah, so Lumberton traveled to Ozan. Ozan came out with the victory, 56-53. Interesting, they've played 3 times. Ozan is 2-1, and all 3 games have been decided by 3. So, Ozan, they did what they needed to do. What their biggest thing was they did not let Lumberton get comfortable. Lumberton, Ricky Jacks, he's known his offenses. They shoot threes. I mean, they would shoot threes from right beyond midcourt if they could.
Mid-county, midcourt.
Yeah, exactly. But Ozan pressured them all game. Didn't let Megan Worry or Allison Jacks get into any type of offensive rhythm. It was tough for him, and Ozan was they were dominant on the offensive glass. That really hurt Lumberton as well, and foul trouble. Allison Jacks, she brings the ball up the court for the Lady Raiders, and she fouled out with about 5:19 left in the game, so that hurt. But it was honestly, Ozan dominated the second half or the second quarter, and Lumberton came back in the third quarter. I think the big key in the game was Lumberton was up 36-30, getting ready to possibly blow it open. Michaela Beckett hits back-to-back threes for Ozan, ties the game up going into the fourth quarter. Exciting fourth quarter. It was big for Ozan. They're now 9-0 in district, and Lumberton 7-2. So, barring any crazy happenings, it'll probably be Ozan in first and Lumberton in second. But honestly, it was a great game, and both teams are going to do pretty well in the playoffs, I think. So what about you?
Yeah.
What about you, Avi?
Yeah, that was interesting. The law of Avi was in full effect, where something always interesting happens when I tend to go to a game. Tonight it was Nederland traveling to Central. Nederland had one district loss against Ozan, but they really, was kind of lacking that really quality win to say, hey, these guys are contenders, for maybe the top 2 spots, maybe the district championship in 24A. They come into Central, and the game, you kind of got a feeling around the gym that the game was kind of decided before it ever started. It was kind of one of those deals where, okay, this is a little bit of a rebuilding year maybe for Nederland. They have 9 new faces on that team. Obviously, Colton Weisbrod's kind of going to be the leader, going to be the rock. Tyler Toon is transfer out of the Houston area for this year for his senior year. But still, this is number 1 Central. This is 19-2 Central. This is Central, beating everybody in their path. And Nederland comes out, and what do? They hung with them, which is kind of the best thing they could have done. You knew what Central was going to do. Central had superior length, superior physicality. They were going to get the rebounds. They were going to get their second chance points. but they missed around the rim an awful lot. And actually, their jump shot, their 3-point shot, was kind of working for them tonight. But Nederland just hung around. They never got frazzled. They never lost their composure. They did what they wanted to do. They stuck to their game plan. Never, like I said, never lost their composure. They actually enter halftime with a 1-point lead. Central really jumps out in the third quarter. They score 5 straight points, and it might have even been more than that. But really, that third quarter, you start saying, okay, this is the game we expected. This is Central beating up on Nederland. This is Central moving to 7-0 in district. But again, Central goes into the final quarter only leading by 1. Nederland kind of hanging around there. Central makes another run, and then in crunch time, it was the free throws. It really was. Nederland missed 3 free throws in the entire second half. I believe they attempted somewhere around 14 or 16, a number like that. And even more important, probably the play of the game, in my opinion, is Central has the ball with a little under 50 seconds left, with a 1-point lead. There's no shot clock. You hold the ball. You win the game. You have the lead.
4 corners.
That's
what Hanster Fernandez.
And Nederland, they get the strip. They get the steal. They go down court. Toon hits a layup off an assist, and all of a sudden Nederland's up 1. Central comes back down the floor, touch foul. They get the 1-and-1. They miss the front end of the 1-and-1. All right. Nederland gets the rebound. They get fouled. Nederland goes to the foul line and hits both of their free throws. Now they're up 3. Central puts up a contested 3-point shot. I thought they could have gotten a better look. They didn't wind the clock all the way down to find the best possible shot. Jack up a 3-pointer, contested, missed. That's pretty much the game there. If Central makes that 1-and-1, I think we're talking about maybe a different outcome. But free throws, like I said, hanging around, helped Nederland to its biggest win of the year. And what do you know? They're tied for first now in District 24A. Both them and Central are at 6-1. Central will no longer be the number 1 team, in the state in 4A. And hey, look who's coming up, Ozan. They got the Ozan game next week.
What a game!
At
round 2.
What a game to rebound.
Was this a trap game? Looking back, maybe a little bit. Like I said, Nederland was kind of one of those overlooked opponents because they weren't maybe going to be as strong this year. Nederland gets them, they nips them, and hey, look, they could win district. I mean, they really could. They're 1-1 against the Beaumont schools entering the second round.
1 point from being 2-0.
I'll say, watch out, Nederland. Who knows now? Maybe Nederland could sneak into the rankings. You never know. But
after tonight, it's like, what do the rankings mean?
Yeah,
like what
absolutely not.
Do they even hurt a team? Maybe
no.
We saw Memorial jump up to what
7,
and then
and they lose 2 games in a row.
And
they lose 2 games in a row. The crown weighs heavy.
Yeah, I'll say I was able to since the Lumberton Ozan game started so early, I was actually able to get over to the Montaigne Center and catch a little bit of the West Orange Stark Silsbee game. West Orange built up a huge lead, but only ended up winning by 6. I will say West Orange, they are top of the district for a reason. What Silsbee was able to do on Tuesday against HJ, they pretty much, well, I don't know if they let Zori Bolsher for HJ got
put on a show.
But Silsbee defended everybody else, and they couldn't do anything. But West Orange isn't like that. Laquarius Page, he was on tonight. He was hitting shots, and then you got Brandon Joubert. He was hitting. And they were physical inside, and they were able to match and obviously beat Silsbee. I think, like I said, West Orange is they're number 7 in the state. We're just talking about rankings, but they're that high for a reason. They're the best team in that district.
They
right
are,
now.
yeah.
And it's going to be interesting. They play HJ in round 2-3 actually. They played in a tournament as well, but it's going to be interesting to see.
More or less people in the Montaigne tonight compared to Beaumont Ozan.
Compared to Beaumont Ozan, less.
Yeah.
Compared to any
game, it's farther away.
What about HJ and Silsbee on Tuesday?
Probably about the same.
Yeah.
And tell me this, Jay, since you were there, did you think Silsbee had some fatigue, being back-to-back big games at neutral sites? That's big time for
they might have. West Orange did jump out. West Orange did jump out very early on them, and built up a lead. I want to say they led by as much as 19 at one point.
Mm-hmm.
So it was chipped away at it and everything. But it was. There might have been a little bit of fatigue.
And it's a funny parallel because in District 21 3A, we're seeing things kind of play out as we expected. It's West Orange, it's Silsbee, it's HJ. I think we're, at least up to this point, we're pretty sure that that's kind of where the rankings of those teams fall as they do with the standings. And, now in 24A, with tonight's outcome, it gets a little murkier.
Mm-hmm.
We know there's we know there's Nederland, no particular order, but we know there's Nederland, Ozan, Central, and LCM, and it's kind of like one fish eating the other, and you can't. LCM beats Ozan beats Nederland beats Central, so it's kind of hard to place who's where. We have a little bit of an idea in our minds about who's going to be the better team over who, but I think it's going to be really fun, to see how this district shakes out now and when, the second round of games starts to get going, because it's a little bit up for grabs. Let's shift real quick to 21-5A. Memorial double overtime. They pick up a big win tonight, a win they really needed. This is a team that was slipping a little bit. They lose, I believe, to Channel.
They lost to Sterling.
They lost to Baytown Sterling, and then they lose at
Westbrook.
home against Westbrook. They were reeling, and they got a win tonight, and that's a big win no matter who the opponent is.
Yeah, big win for Westbrook. They took care of Baytown Sterling unlike Port Arthur. But it seems like I went by the school today. It seemed like the players took the tail whooping they got against North Shore last week very personal and kind of felt embarrassed. And they had a 2-0 weeks.
After one rotation, they're tied for first with North Shore. So
that's all you can expect.
It's a bit surprise, but it's good, impressive.
So guys, next week we have Central Ozan. Obviously it's going to be a huge game. Either of you can chime in real quick. Just kind of what are your keys to the game? What are you expecting to see come out of this?
Well, I'll say quickly that Ozan, what Ozan does well is what Central struggles with is guards. Ozan has,
and this is round 3.
This is round 3. Ozan, like I said, Ozan's guards do well. And what Central does well, they have a lot of length, is kind of what Ozan struggles with. But I think it's all about adjustments. These teams know each other. I don't expect this to be more than a 2 or 3 point game. I don't know who's going to win, but it's going to be close.
I expect it to be close as well, but I think the still keep monitored is the health of Jordan Hunter, because from what I'm hearing, he still don't have the explosiveness because what he has is a high ankle sprain, and that takes up to 3 to 4 weeks to get away. So we're not met with the first time we saw him healthy, we saw what happened. And last time he was kind of chipped up, and now he's even more nicked up. So maybe that'd be a difference in the game.
A bright spot for Central that I did notice tonight is that a player named Dominique Harrison really stepped up for them. Was their leading scorer. I think he had something like 17 points. He was the go-to guy. He keyed a big run. And what this helps with Central's depth. We know about Nigel Pearson, we know about Etorian Willrich, but this, they're showing they have a couple more weapons. But what they need is everybody to click at the same time. Sometimes it seems like one guy will step up and then the other won't. What they need is all the cylinders clicking at the same time. Etorian Willrich had an interesting game. He came out with 5 quick points to set the tone, and then he didn't score again until the 4th quarter. The 4th, he went the 2nd and 3rd completely scoreless. And I understand as a scoring threat, that's not his main asset, but when he's one of the best players you have on the floor, you need to find a way to utilize him a little bit more. So I think that's going to be one of the things that we can look at, and especially coming off this Nederland loss, this game just gets a whole lot more interesting because it takes a little bit away from kind of putting Central on a pedestal as like, this beatable district team. So it's going to be really interesting. Any other games that you guys, real quick, are kind of looking out for next week that you want to tell the fine folks about?
Yeah, quickly. Sorry.
Oh.
No, I was going to say.
Wilmington and Central girls, I went to round 1. It was an 86-78 girls basketball game.
That doesn't happen much.
So we'll see what happens in round 2. They needed a unhuman like Megan Worry went off for 33 points, so maybe she have to go again because if they have 2 losses in a row, it won't be good for the Lady Raiders.
That'll be tough. And like I said, West Orange, Stark, and Hardin Jefferson. It's going to be at West Orange Stark this time. Going to be interesting. Got to see how Bosch's teammates can. They got to support them. West Orange, they're too good. They've proven it so far. They have to. Bosch's teammates have to do something, step up to help them do something better for the second rotation of district games.
Shout out Zoe, one of the best shooting performances I've seen in person. Back-to-back 4-point plays. That's a good look.
Colt Weisbrod had 29 points tonight of Nederland's 59. So there's a lesson in having your teammates help up. Sharing is caring, folks.
Yeah, exactly.
Pass the ball. Guys, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Obviously, we've gotten off to a great start in district and with all of our local teams. A lot of exciting stuff happening. Please stick with us as we go around the second time, and we'll see kind of just as the drama unfolds who's going to emerge as some of the top teams, who's going to make those big upsets like Nederland did tonight. Again, guys, thank you so much, and take care of yourselves.